What makes a watch a rare find? Is it the provenance, the relation of the watch to the history of the brand, the number of complications, or the movement? All these are fair factors for consideration, but I want to talk about something more simple. You see, a rare find can just be a watch that checks all the marks for you, regardless of price, material, or rarity. It gives you a satisfaction that only you can explain when it's on the wrist. It's an appreciation of a watch that navigates under the radar, even to its own brand. It didn't get the marketing hype or dollars, but you recognize that something was special about it. For the collector, you don't care what others think. You know what you have, and you're proud to own it, but most of all, proud to share its story. Today, we look at one of those rare finds from the House of Montblanc. Montblanc has been well known throughout history for making exceptional writing instruments since 1906, some which have become extremely collectible. With such an eye for excellence in craftsmanship, Montblanc began making watches in 1997 with the Time Walker collection. To rave reviews, the foundation was set to become a formidable player in the watchmaking industry. In 2006, Montblanc acquired Minerva, the famous watchmaker, to begin a new arm of high-end watchmaking for the brand. Two manufacturers aligned as one. In Les Loques, state-of-the-art equipment is used to build dials, cases, and other components. But in Villeret, watchmakers craft movements by hand, producing breathtaking complications fueled by the history and mastery of Minerva. The Montblanc Star World-time GMT is a rare find that packs a lot of punch for the price. In today's market, you can find this piece on the high end being sold slightly below $3,800, and on the low end anywhere from around $2,200, maybe up to around $2,700. Now that swing in price difference can depend on a number of factors: the location of the seller and scarcity of models that are available, and also the number of options in which the watch was being sold. You can find this model either on the leather strap or on one of the amazing Montblanc bracelets as well. So it's worth the research to find the right piece at the right price. Again, at roughly under $4,000 pre-owned on the gray market, you'd be hard-pressed not to be satisfied with such an amazing, exceptional piece. Now, upon taking a closer look at the watch, you'll notice that I swapped out the original black strap and applied this gorgeous blue alligator strap with white stitching. Because of the blue accents on the dial, with the 24-hour scale partially blue and the 24 cities, it highlights the dial exceptionally and draws you in. The onion crown aids in the grip when you're adjusting the home time or the time itself. Now, although this is not technically defined as a sports watch, I appreciate that in Montblanc's design, they chose to make the crown screw down, which aids in preventing water or moisture from entering the watch. As with many of Montblanc's models, the emblem on the face of the crown is the Montblanc star, which is reflective of the snow-capped mountain peaks of Mont Blanc, considered to be the highest European mountain. This symbolism ties to the brand's commitment of trying to provide the highest in quality and the finest of craftsmanship. Now, one of the greatest features of this watch is that you can control or adjust the time in the second time zone and the settings of the city display disc with the crown. The crown actually has 3 different positions that either engage or disengage depending on which function of the watch you're trying to set. Here, you'll see I'm setting the second time zone by moving the red arrow head hand across the scale. So let's do a breakdown of the watch. The case size is around 42 millimeters, and the case thickness comes in at roughly around 12.5. The movement is the MB4810/402. Now this is a self-winding movement based off of the ETA 7753, one of the robust movements in the industry. The power reserve is 42 hours, and the crystal is sapphire. Now again, at a price point of originally $5,100, to find this watch on the gray market between that 23 to 37 point is a really good find. The Montblanc Star World-time GMT
is actually a part of the Star Collection that was officially presented at SIHH in 2011. The inner rotating bezel with the 24 cities is smooth, but requires pressure to advance the disc forward. You will notice this as you're rotating the crown. The idea here is that you're going to set the desired location of the city you're traveling to by moving the name of that city to the 12 o'clock position on the watch. As each city moves forward, you'll feel sort of a click from the watch to let you know that you've advanced it correctly to the next one. Then you'll set the GMT hand to reflect the time zone of that city that you're traveling to, and you're all set. I love the high polish of the steel case of this watch, and although it can be a finger magnet, it's nothing too drastic to raise a concern about. The adjusting of time is butter smooth and great to actually do. The creamy white dial boasts a geo-shaped pattern that's pulling from the Montblanc star emblem slightly near the center of the dial. I tell you that the beauty is in the details. And even although there is no loom for reading the time in the dark, the watch comes together so well. The fonts for both the hour markers and the 24-hour cities complement each other nicely. I have an appreciation for the blued minute-hour hands and the second hands. The shape of the hands are sleek as not to impede the readability of the dial, and that's what makes this an amazing piece. So in conclusion, I think the watch hit all the marks for most of our taste. It gives you a look not commonly found being made by a lot of brands today, but appreciated by them when looked at closely. The functionality of the GMT justifies being a part of the collection because it says I'm more than just a watch. I can also be a tool watch if needed. The creativity behind the ease of the crown for adjustments gives you a conversation piece. Even the use of the guilloche on the dial as a nod back to the past ways of watchmaking. The watch can be dressed up or dressed down, and it's versatile to accommodate a number of situations. On the wrist, it can easily slide under a cuff or complement a more casual look. Montblanc in this design gave us a little bit of everything to reflect their creativity, their engineering, and their design cues. Well, I hope you enjoyed this review, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode of Rare Finds. If you haven't already, please subscribe. It truly does help the channel, and it also keeps you in the loop of not missing any future videos from the Watch Factor. Take care.